between the Indianapolis Colts and the Portland River Hogs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Portland River Hogs. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Portland team entering play. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Here we go, G, get off the field. Mike.
First down, Brissett. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. It's caught by Funchess. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And this is what we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. They pass up the three, fake it, it doesn't work. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game.
I know coaches always tell us that they make decisions about these types of plays, this type of a fake, earlier in the week to take the emotion out of the deal. I don't know that that was really true here. This one felt like all of a sudden, hey, we got the feeling, but let's go ahead and get it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I know one thing. They wish they had it back.
Yeah, they certainly do, but the buck stops with the head coach on that one. He has to green light that attempt. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch her. 36.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you kind of hit the jackpot there.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and now it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. The numbers from last week for Hilton. 6 catches, 85 yards.
And in doing preparation for the game, you notice where guys rank in the league in terms of statistical categories. He's 4th in the league in receiving yards. That caught my attention in a positive way.
Number 53. And watch your legs.
On second down, it's Mack. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On third down, Brissett. He's got it to Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Mack off the draw play. Stays on his feet. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job. So, now Murray has it stripped, and the Colts pick it up. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing, Brissett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. The Colts on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Mack. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. Gay's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Second and 5 now. Murray complete to Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 28.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you have to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Here's Mack. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Brissett sets to throw it. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Jones. But he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The safety, Budda Baker, there to force the incompletion. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. That one a 14-yard play, and it keeps this drive moving. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Out of the gun, here's Murray. This one caught by Isabella. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Complete to Hilton. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Brissett now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Brissett now. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter three. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number three. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the home side to take over on offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Finding room inside the 40. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. A lot Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Flush to his right. He'll run it. And he will have a touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They go right back to Mack. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
They'll go again here with Mack. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads would be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, Murray. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Isabella. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there. And he
will take this one in for a touchdown. Kyler Murray, 63 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And, in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field. Not really.
Travis Kelce, the 40, the 20. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Give him 9 yards on the carry there, a good run. And now 2nd and goal. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 52.
Looking to run with Mack. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And it's for pride now, but the Colts get a bit closer.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain of 12 yards that time. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Murray now, 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Benjamin. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here's Jacobs. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here is the home side to take over on offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
On first down, Benjamin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They come up short here on fourth down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 44 yards on the ground. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
And the catch made by Hilton. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.